I haven't talked in front of a camera for a very, very long time, and this is very weird. But hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Vish, if you're new, and this is a weekend reading vlog. I'm in a brand new place. It's my own place that I've rented, and I'm not living with any more roommates. Oh my god, they were roommates. No more of that shit. I have my own space. I have my own shelves, finally. I don't have all of my books with me. These are the books that I've collected slash brought with me for the last year since I moved to Melbourne. It's currently Friday afternoon slash evening. I've clocked off work for the day and it's the weekend, baby. I'm excited. Are you excited? It's a bit warm today, so I'm not thrilled about that, but that's fine. The next 2 days are going to be cooler, which I'm excited about. Plans for the weekend? I have none. I'm basically going to be reading and also doing some unpacking because it's been a week since I've been in this house. I haven't unpacked my clothes. That's the last thing that I've left to unpack. So this weekend, we'll be tackling my clothes. I've left it in the guest room, which is the room behind here, and I need to basically sort it all out and move it to my bedroom over there. So you're gonna come along with me in organizing my clothes and basically unpacking everything that I haven't unpacked and some basic shenanigans of cooking, watching TV, maybe a movie, and reading. So, what are my reading plans? I'm currently in the middle of a book, so my goal for this weekend is to finish said current read and then start a new one. Ambitious goals: finish the current read and start and finish the next book. We'll see. So the book I'm currently reading is A Darkness at Sethanon by Raymond E. Feist. This is the third book to the Rift War Saga series, and I'm buddy reading this with my good friends Abby and Sam. I'll leave Abby's channel down below, but if you're here, you also are subscribed to Abby, I'm pretty sure. And he's created this universe called the Rift War World slash series, and this is the first trilogy of the next, I don't know, 36 books. So me, Abby, and Sam are attempting to go through this series of series. So this is the third book of the first trilogy, which is the Rift War Saga trilogy. And since the third book, I won't go into what this book is about, but basically the trilogy is following our main character Pug, who we see as a little boy, and he's not so little anymore. Kind of reminds me of Robin Hobb, even though I haven't read it, but I've heard that you kind of see Fitz grow up and you get attached to him, and that's essentially what happens in this trilogy. So you're following Pug as a young boy who's trying to figure himself out, figure out what kind of magic he has, and he's always with his friend Thomas, who is our, I guess, next main character in our first book, and he's also trying to figure out his place in the world. And they both live in the kingdom of Crete, and they are squires to the Lord of Crete. And we follow the royalty as well in this world, the next couple of books. And one day, both Pug and Thomas stumble upon this mysterious ship that doesn't look like it's been made from this world, and it quickly escalates to everyone discovering that there are people from another world invading their world. And the people that are invading Mekimia are the Tsurani. I think that's how you pronounce it. And this ensues a war between Mekimia and the Tsurani, which spans for a very, very long time. And a couple of devastating things happens to our characters in the first book. It's a very emotional ride, and the writing style is definitely very comforting after a while because you spend so much time with these characters and this world, and you just want to keep reading. And it was published, I'm pretty sure, in the 70s or 80s, the first book. This one was published in 1986, so the first book I'm pretty sure was published in the early 80s, but it's still very engaging. The world building and the characters are very, very fleshed out. I'm definitely in it for the long run. There are pacing issues in my opinion. Sometimes it can be a bit drawn out or dry, where we get too much descriptions that are not really relevant to anything, and it just feels really drawn out. But other than that, it's been a solid 4-star series in my opinion. The second book so far is my favorite in the series because there's a horror element which I really enjoy, and that particular plot has moved forward to the third book, but the inklings of the plot in the second book has been seen in the first book. So I just like how all the different plot points and the different aspects of the world building and the magic system kind of overarches all 3 books, and I'm sure will continue on with the rest of the series, which I am very, very excited to see what unfolds in the other books. And there's a particular character in the second book called Jimmy, who we also see in this third book, who is one of my favorite characters in this series. And I know he is the main character of the later books. In this third book, I think there's also a horror element in this, but it hasn't shown itself. But I'm scared for our characters. I am on page 96, chapter 5. Things are happening, and things that have given me a heart attack because I was not expecting it and I was in denial, still in denial. We'll see what happens, okay? So my aim is to finish this in the next, I don't know, couple of days. I'm hoping I can finish it tomorrow. We'll see. But I am only in the beginning. We'll see how much I read today. I don't have any other plans other than cooking dinner, and today's date night, so I gotta spend some time with the significant other, you know? I'm joking. I love him. As for the next book that I'm gonna read, I will talk about it when I finish the first book. So we just came back from grocery shopping for dinner. We're gonna make pizza and I'm very, very excited. And I also went to the library that is near my house, and guess what? I didn't take any footage. I'm so sorry. It's been a while since I did a vlog, so please excuse me. I will get better. But what I did pick up is Malice by John Gwynne. This is the first book in the Faithful of the Fallen series by John Gwynne and is an adult epic fantasy. Honestly, have no idea what this is about, but I know it is a war between the giants and the humans, I want to say, and it's very Viking-esque inspired medieval fantasy. And I'm picking this up because Becca from Becca in the Books, she hosts Catch Up Book Club, and this is the new series that they're going to be working on, and I want to join in. Third time's a charm, right? I've been wanting to join Catch Up Book Club for so long. The time is now. But anyway, I am going to cozy up and read my book while dinner is being prepared, and then I'm going to eat that pizza. This looks so good. I am so excited to eat this. And we're gonna watch a movie, Bullet Train, which I've already seen and I love. Good morning. It is Saturday. My battery is flashing at me. I thought I charged this, but I guess not. It's a mess. Anyway, hello. It's Saturday. I didn't read much yesterday. I read about 10 pages. No, wait, no. 20 pages? I read about 20 pages, which is only a chapter. Honestly, I was just hanging out with my partner since it was date night. We watched 2 movies. We watched Bullet Train, which I've already seen and I loved, and I wanted him to see it, and he really, really liked it, which is great. I love lemon and tangerine. They are my favorite parts of the movie. And then we watched this new movie on Netflix called Carry On. We looked at the trailer first because we wanted to see if we were interested, and the whole trailer spoiled the whole movie, but we wanted to see it anyway just because it seems like a Die Hard-esque movie. And I don't know if I would recommend it, but I guess if you're looking for a like Christmas slash thriller movie, definitely try Carry On out. It's basically about this like TSA agent that has been roped in to this scheme at this airport where this guy is just trying to get this bag on board, and something dangerous is in that bag, and he's trying to like threaten this TSA agent to make sure the carry-on gets through the security checkpoint. And the whole thing was fine, and it was very much, like I said, like Die Hard meets Toy Story 2 in a very weird way. There's a whole conveyor belt scene. If you remember Toy Story 2, how they go through like the conveyor belt and everything, like you see the inside of the airport, and it's like really cool. So I guess that is a plus side of this movie, so I guess I would recommend it. I just gave it a solid 2 out of 5. stars. So I didn't read much yesterday, but today I'm gonna hunker down and read. I'm not feeling too great today because it's that time of the month, TMI, but I am down and out for the count. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and have a great breakfast. We're going out to Hungry Jack's to eat breakfast. I think Hungry Jack's breakfast is superior than McDonald's breakfast. For all of those of you who are not in Australia, Hungry Jack's is basically Burger King. It's just a different name, and over here, Hungry Jack's has breakfast. It's about 7 p.m. right now, and I gotta say, I am really slow in reading this book. From the last time I checked in, which was this morning, I was on chapter 6, which is page 119. I am currently on page 153. I've barely read anything. Look, I'm really run down today. I've had 2 naps. Do you know how tired you have to be to have 2 naps? But it's alright. It's just typical time of the month for me. But either way, I am still really enjoying this, even though I'm really slow in reading it. So it's making me a bit frustrated in reading this. So I thought I should switch it up and maybe pick a new book to read. And I thought the book that I should pick is the second book that I was supposed to read in this vlog and the next book that I'm supposed to read anyway. But before that, let me just quickly talk about my feelings about this book. Right now, where I'm at, we have a couple of main characters that we're following, but 2 different quests that they are doing in order to achieve the main goal. So we're following Jimmy and a couple of other characters traveling to the north of Midkemia, and by traveling to the north, they're going to figure out some information about the enemy. And then we're following Pug and Thomas, who are on their own quests, and it's a much more magical quest compared to the thing that Jimmy and the others are doing. And I think it's much more interesting looking at Pug and Thomas, because right now they're heading to this celestial mountain to find the Hall of the Dead and find answers about this enemy and what they can do to fight this enemy. And it's just really interesting to read. But again, I'm just so frustrated because I'm reading this so slowly. Maybe I should switch to my Kindle. That could help, but I haven't held a physical book in so long. I've been reading on my Kindle for more than a month because I was away in the whole month of November. I just wanted to hold something physical and read something physically, but I'm just reading it so slowly for some unknown reason. But I think what I will do is I will switch to the Kindle and see how I feel about it. But I think I should also pick up a second book to read alongside this, just to break it up, you know? So the book that I want to read and need to read is What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez. This is the Goldsboro edition, and I love this edition. So I need to read this because I actually have a book club on this app called Fable, and if you want to join, because I haven't been making videos for quite a while now, and I still wanted to keep my finger on the pulse of the book community. So I made a book club on Fable called Me, a Princess. Shut up. It's a very long-winded book club name, but you know what? I love it. And the book club pick for December is What the River Knows, and I want to read it before the year ends, obviously. So I don't really know what this one is about. I just know that the comp title is like The Mummy meets Death on the Nile, and I love The Mummy. The Mummy is one of my favorite movies of all time. So anything to do with The Mummy and like Egyptian mythology, I'm always here. The only caveat about this book is it's a historical fantasy set in the 19th century Egypt, and I'm a bit concerned because I'm not a huge fan of historical fantasy. So I don't know if this is going to be a DNF or not, just because of the historical aspect of this book. You and I are going to find out together if I'm going to like this book. So we have our main character Inez, who has always wanted to go on adventures with her parents. But then, unfortunately, her parents passed away in mysterious circumstances, and she gets a letter. And in order to find out the truth about her parents' murder, she goes on an adventure to Cairo with an ancient ring that her father has sent for her safekeeping. And I'm guessing she heads to Cairo to figure out what this ancient ring is and who murdered her parents, who possibly uncovered this ring somewhere, and it has to do with a huge power or like a certain Egyptian king or queen, and she has to figure it out. And people are going to be chasing her for this ring. Maybe it's the same people who killed her parents. I don't know. These are all theories. But I can definitely see where the mummy comes into play because of, you know, the adventure in Cairo and traipsing through the pyramids. I feel like it's going to be very action packed. That's what I'm thinking, and maybe it'll distract me from the whole historical fantasy part. So let's, you know, start this book and see what I think. Oh my god, I forgot about the part in the synopsis where it says she meets a new guardian's infuriatingly handsome assistant who seems determined to thwart her at every turn. Brendan Fraser, is that you? Yeah, no, I'm very excited to read this. So I'm gonna read a couple of chapters and come back. Hopefully soon, if not tomorrow morning. So it turns out I just needed a quiet place to read my book, and I managed to get halfway through A Darkness Has Set On. So I'm on page 250. I don't know if I'll be able to finish this today, but I'll definitely get quite a ways through, maybe another 5 chapters for today, I would say. And I haven't started What the River Knows just yet. Yesterday when I was like focused on reading this, I was enjoying this a lot. This is my favorite book of the trilogy so far because the first book was very much just contained within its own book. The second book was all set up, it was all plot. But this third book has so much more world building, character development, and it's just rounding up to be a really great book. Like, we're getting a lot more world building and like hints of series that I will read down the line. Like, they talk about the Chaos War, which is a war between the gods, the Valharu, which is kind of like a fae-like race and mortal beings that got the humans into slavery, and the war between the gods, Valharu, and humans are the Chaos War. And I'm pretty sure I'll be reading about the Chaos War down the road, and I'm really, really excited for that because anything to do with gods, like, I'm there. And it's really weird that the last book has this much world building. Normally in the second book we get much more world building and character development, and then the third book is just all plot so that we can get a really good conclusion. But nonetheless, I am really, really enjoying it. I can't wait to dive back into it and learn more. I'm definitely feeling so much better today, which is great because I have shit to do. So I still need to put away my clothes upstairs, and I want to read way more of this. Hopefully maybe like another 100 pages or so of this, and then also start What the River Knows today as well and see how I go with that, because I'm trying to get a certain amount of books done before the end of the year, and I think right now I'm on 66 books read for the year. Yes, I'm on 66 books read for the year, and I want to get to 70 books read before the end of the year. That means I need to read 4 more books. So I am currently reading Darkness Has Set On. What the River Knows would be my next book, so I need 2 more books before the end of the year. The problem is, the last book that I want to read is The Tempest of Wrath and Vengeance by Melissa K. Roerick. I am desperate to read this. I have been on a Melissa K. Roerick binge since I want to say September, and I finished her Lady of Darkness series. Really, really enjoyed that. But this series, the Reign of Shadows and Ending series, I don't remember what this calls, the ending series, this is so good because in the Lady of Darkness series I felt it was very Sarah J Maas coded, so it's been done before. It's not too unique on what characteristics and Sarah J Maas tropes that we had. Melissa K. Roerick did them very, very well, so that was really enjoyable. But in this series, it's just totally different. It's totally not unique, but like it's totally different from what she's written. It's more darker than what she's written, and I'm just enjoying the angst and the chaos that is in this series, and I cannot wait to read the third book. I also am dreading to read the third book because I know there'll be a cliffhanger in book 4 when it comes out next year in 2025. I'm impatient. But all of that to say is that I need another book in order to complete my 70 books read for the year goal. It's not really a goal, but I just wanted to get to a nice round number, and I don't have anything. I was thinking of reading maybe a romance because that would be a very, very quick read, but that is future Vish's problem meaning next week's me problem. Let me finish A Darkness Setteth On and What the River Knows, and then I'll decide. So I'm on page 268 right now, and I forgot to mention before that there's a romance in this between a character, Martin, and Brianna. Martin is a very rugged character. He is a huntsman. All he wants to do is spend time in the forest alone, in the quiet, make sure the animals in the forest are happily living, blah blah blah. He's a nature man. He's a rugged man. He has always been that way until recently. He has some responsibilities thrust upon him, and he has to deal with that, and he doesn't like it. And with those responsibilities comes marriage, political alliances. He's never liked any of the women that have been picked for him to be married to, and now with this quest he stumbled upon Brianna, who is very much like him, and they both understand the consequences of war and the unpredictability of war, and they both just fell in love. It's very insta-lovey. But because I have been with Martin for 3 books now, that I care for him and I understand his feelings about Brianna and how much Brianna means to him. So it's really, really sweet, this romance, and I'm really liking it, guys. Like, this book is definitely much better and much different than the first 2 books, and I think it's definitely because of how invested I am in the characters. And yeah, Raymond E5 doing a good job. Good job. However, there is, I guess, one con about his book so far, is that the magic system is not explained at all. As I said before, we have a main character in the first book called Pug, and he finds out he has magical powers, therefore he is a magician. And as he is becoming a magician, he learns to control his powers and learn more about his magic. But we don't learn about the magic. We don't actually know what this magic is. It's just kind of told to us that he has magic and he has his abilities. And as he learns more about his magic from different people and from different worlds, we don't actually get told what specific magics he's learned. It's just said that he's learned more and now he's more powerful. And it's the same with in the beginning of this book, where he learns more magic and we're just told that he's learned more magic. We don't know the specifics of the magic and what kind of powers does he have. He's just a magician with very powerful magic. I guess that's the one con. I would like to know more about the magic, but I've come to terms that I guess the magic system is not going to be explained. Hopefully it will be in like later series, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. So I reached my page goal for the day for A Darkness of Sethanon. I am on page 350, chapter 16. And from the last time I spoke to you, the last couple of chapters has been really battle heavy. It has been a bit boring because it really goes into detail of like the battle, the strategy, and sometimes I do like that, but in this particular description, it was a bit boring and a bit dry. I think it was just too much in detail for my liking and for my preference, and there was not a lot of twists and turns. It was just kind of like this happened and then this happened and the soldiers all went over here and did this. So it's very like descriptive, repetitive, and drawn out. It's just not my favorite, but it's all coming to a head into a more bigger battle, I think. I guess we will see with the last 100 pages, but I think I definitely prefer the first half of the book. But we will see how this all wraps up, but that's a tomorrow's me problem, and also not in this vlog because I'm going to pick up What the River Knows. It's in the protective dust jacket thing now, and I don't know if I can reach 100 pages today, but I'm gonna give it a good try and get to however many pages I get to tonight, and we shall see whether I reach that goal or not. That's literally the last thing on my to-do list today. But now I'm just gonna go chill out downstairs, watch Die Hard, because me and my partner have been itching to watch Die Hard for a bit, and it's also Christmas. I don't care what anyone says, Die Hard is a Christmas movie because it takes place during Christmas. So I'm gonna go watch Die Hard and read What the River Knows after, and then we'll wrap up this vlog. So I managed to at least finish most of the things on my to-do list yesterday, which I'm still pretty proud of considering how I was on Saturday. So last night I got only up to page 17 of What the River Knows, which is not much, it's fine, but I just read a bit before bed. I just read the prologue, and I'm only up to the part where she finds out her parents died via the letter. But I'm still excited to see how it'll play out. So far, I like the writing style, and so far it's not so historical that I'm bored, so we shall see how this pans out. I managed to read 270 pages this weekend, which is not a lot considering I normally like to try and read 100 pages a day, but you know what, it's okay. It is what it is. Saturday was very low-key day, but at least I got some reading done and I'm happy with that. But either way, I hope you enjoyed this weekend vlog from me, and I am excited to film more videos again in my new space, which I am very happy and content with, which is new, and I'm very happy about that. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!